Okay, so I wanted to go over how to enter your answers for some of the questions in Unit 4, particularly when you are simplifying an expression with a square root. So this textbook is very particular about how you enter your answer, and they want you to use absolute value symbols for some of your answers. So basically, the square root of a number um, never equals a negative number. So you can never have the square root of a negative number. All right. So the square root of anything is really the absolute value of that answer. Now, if you have just a constant, just a number as your answer, for example, here, the square root of 7 squared, if you do 7 squared, that equals 49, and the square root of 49 is 7. If you enter that, it's going to accept that just fine. Now, another example here. So the square root of parentheses negative 12 squared. So the negative 12 squared is 144. And the square root of 144 is 12. You can check your answer and you're good to go. Notice that we're not dealing with variables yet. Now here we have the square root of x plus 3 squared. So your square root and your squares cancel. Okay, so your answer can just be x plus 3. Notice when I press check answer, it's telling me that it's not correct. All right, that is because we need to make sure that we have absolute value signs around our answer because we have a variable here. So I'm going to say this is the absolute value of x plus 3. Now it takes the answer as correct. So I know that can be very frustrating for you guys because if you're doing this on paper, um, just saying x plus 3 would really be fine. But this textbook, which is what the problems are based off of, wants you to be very specific and say the absolute value of x plus 3. That's basically you saying that what is underneath that square root can never ever be negative. Okay? Let's do another example here. So the square root of 64x squared. So we're going to say the square root of 64 is 8, and the square root of x to the 8th is x to the 4th. So we're going to put that in absolute value signs. 8x to the 4th. And see, we have the correct answer here. Now, here it's super important that you have absolute value. So you would do what's underneath the square root first. So that's going to be the square root of 100 is 10, and the square root of x to the 6th is x to the 3rd. But then you have this negative on the outside. So you're going to have negative, and you want to be sure and put that square root simplified expression in absolute value. So you'd want to say, because if we don't do that, if we say negative times 10x to the 3rd, it's going to tell you that it's wrong. But it does give you a reminder. So then recall that any real number a, the square root of a squared equals the absolute value of a. So we're going to put that 10x to the 3rd in absolute value. And now we're okay. So I just wanted to kind of show you that because if you're working these out on your own and it's telling you that it's wrong and you can get frustrated, and I know that's frustrating. So I wanted to show you some examples. Let's do one more. Here you would actually factor this trinomial. Now the square root of x plus 7 squared is just going to give you x plus 7. Now, if we leave our answer like that, it's going to tell us that it's incorrect because it's looking for those absolute value signs. So let me do that, and now it's correct. So just be aware of that because that's going to affect your answer. So if you have any questions, email me or call me this week, and I will see you on Tuesday.